Marcus Knight Gameplays y Cachondeo presenta Despues, Elysium, episodio 10. Hola a todos mis coprolitos y coprolitas y bienvenidos a este vuestro canal, Marcus Knight Gameplays y Cachondeo. Os habla Marcus Knight, un saludito, bienvenidos a este 10º episodio de Despues Elysium, en el que, bueno, después de haber hablado con el gigantón este, no tengo el... a ver. Vamos a bajar un poco el volumen ambiental. Vamos a dejarlo así. Bueno, después de haber hablado con el cráneo métrico este que nos ha conseguido descolgar el cuerpo de aquel hombre que tenemos colgado ahí. Vamos a ver si tenemos algo de que hablar con este. Nada. Nada interesante, así que vamos a volver al cuerpo de aquel tiparraco. Tenemos aquí una puerta, a ver. No me acuerdo si he entrado, parece que sí.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet the drawer slides shut smoothly.
No, que ya habíamos entrado. ¿Eso qué es?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such a... The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about a large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy rays. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia, not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is, drapes it all over his machine.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over. He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorryman.
Bueno, hemos hecho esto, pero nosotros estamos buscando el cuerpo, que nos lo han descolgado, así que parece que era por aquí, por ahí detrás. Sí, aquí era. Ah, pues sí, a ver. ¿Por qué no lo puedo ver ahora?
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
Autopsia de campo.
1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
Muy bien.
The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
Entendido.
Lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
De
I'll
acuerdo.
ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes? In your paperwork, officer, just fill out the field autopsy form. Officer, what haven't you lost? Good. Otherwise you would only have one shoe now. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several actually, but only if it helps move things along. Yes, well,
It's okay to cry, Runkari.
Trabajemos con los tuyos.
right. The autopsy form is near the end.
Bueno,
The
vamos
dead
a
man
abrirlo.
stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
Comenzar.
That's you.
Harry Boys.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
Con el francia número.
KK57-0803.0815.
Vale,
Next.
pues eso. Siguiente,
NA.
nombre.
Next.
Fecha de
NA.
nacimiento. Edad.
Roughly 50.
the corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook, teeming with opportunistic microorganisms, letting out a foul-smelling diamine compound. Your eyes turn watery.
Mondial.
Mundial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sexo.
Fucky, fucky!
Male.
Varón.
Pigs can have sex.
Nor does
This is
he look
serious.
pale, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Fecha de la
We're still
muerte.
going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same.
KK 57 0503 0815.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on the corpse. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-Delorian burial rites. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no large elsewhere yet. An obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Crouton. The day is turning dim for Sergeant MacDawson. Hand extended, the building is tall, 7 stories, wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, and so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH. 42 deceased persons found.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a triggered... The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now... we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber hand. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 101. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! It's gonna happen!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
You don't even have a joke.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air. No, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything in.
Hepatobiliary. NA. Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands, and neck. Visually consistent. Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Nothing. Just in case. Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury. A stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has
At maximum velocity, fucker!
confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Now we put him in a body bag and I drive him to Faubourg for processing.
The lieutenant looks at the dead man one more time. Then you tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. The lips of the corpse are swollen preposterously.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build. Okay, I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can take care of the rest.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. May they rest, oh well, in another lifetime.
It's too late to take him into processing today. I'll take him first thing tomorrow.
Bueno. Nos han dado por lo menos 2 niveles. ¿Por dónde está? ¿Y dónde está? Vamos a trabajar el que menos tenemos. Y aceptamos. Y tenemos aquí otras anotaciones aquí en el cuaderno. Coloca en la teoría relación a los relojes libres de tu cabeza. Teoría racial avanzada en tu cabeza. Bueno, pues creo que lo vamos a dejar aquí después de esta autopsia de campo tan intensa. Vamos a guardar. Así que sin más, saludos cordiales, abrazos virtuales y nos vemos en los bares. Chao.